To Kill a Mockingbird is the first and the most famous novel of the American novelist Harper Lee. The novel was published in 1960, and in 1961 it won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction. Harper Lee was born in 1926 in Monroeville, a small city in Alabama, where she grew up with her parents and her 3 brothers. In 1939, she decided to drop out of university and to move to New York in order to pursue her dream of becoming a writer. In 2007, George W. Bush honored Harper Lee with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilization award in the United States. To Kill a Mockingbird has become a classic of American literature, and Barack Obama defined it as a book against every form of racism and discrimination. The story takes place in Macomb, a small town in Alabama, during the 30s, and it is narrated by Jean Louise Finch, who lives with her brother Jem, her father Atticus, and their maid Calpurnia. They spent all their summers with Dill, a new friend of theirs, playing and trying to see Boo Radley, a mentally frail man who lives locked in his house. Macomb's citizens describe Boo as a monster and as an awful person. Due to these rumors, Jem, Scout, and Dill are terrified but also incredibly curious. When Atticus accepts to defend an Afro-American Tom Robinson, who has been accused of raping a young white woman, Mayela Ewell, Macomb's citizens are disgusted, and the 3 children will understand that the reality where they live is different than the one they thought they were living. The trial ends with the conviction of Tom, even though Atticus proves that was the girl's father, Bob Ewell, who abused her. Tom tried to escape, but gets shot, and Bob Ewell seeks revenge, attacking Jem and Scout, but the frightful Boo Radley saves them. In 1962, the book became a movie, directed by Robert Mulligan. The film won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Actor for Gregory Peck. Except for some changes in the chronological order, and for some characters who are not present in the movie, it can be considered an excellent movie adaptation. In fact, some dialogues are the same as those written by the author, such as the description of Macomb at the beginning of the movie and Scout observation meanwhile she takes Boo Radley home. The director and the actors were able to reproduce and to communicate the same sensation the reader feels while reading. Harper Lee wrote a masterpiece of American and international literature, talking about subjects which are still relevant today. Complex themes such as racism, prejudice, and the fear for what is different or unknown are covered with extreme delicacy by Scout. Her point of view is fundamental, and it shows that a pure and innocent mind, which is not distorted by adults' prejudice, can see things clearly. The book's title, To Kill a Mockingbird, refers to the murder of a pure and harmless creator. In this book, there are 2 mockingbirds, Boo Radley and Tom Robinson, who was convicted only because he was black. These 2 characters prove that every kind of prejudice and racism is harmful. Atticus Finch, during his closing statement, reminds us that every human being can make mistakes, that every human being can lie, or it can be immoral. But these behaviors can be attributed to everyone. Atticus, with his speech, condemns all forms of racism and discrimination, exhorting the members of the jury and people at the trial to remember that all men are created equal. To Kill a Mockingbird is not only a novel against every form of discrimination, it is a book which encourages us to respect other people, be brave, and to choose what is best, and to carry the weight of your decision with your head held high. Just as Atticus does, choosing to defend Tom Robinson at a trial. He knows that people will criticize and defend him, and he also knows that he has little hope of winning. But he does not give up, and he fights to save Tom. Atticus does not teach these values only to us, but also to his children. Meanwhile, he helps them to understand a world full of contradictions. He encourages them to go against the grain and to fight for values such as equality and respect. While Scout is crossing the edge that divides her house from Radley's house, she understands her father's teachings. She finally understands that you never really know a man until you stand in his shoes. To Kill a Mockingbird is a book that explains complex themes with extreme delicacy, encouraging the reader to reflect. 60 years after its publication, Harper Lee seems to talk to us.